Chapter 11. Irene looked forward to Sunday as she hadn't in a long time. Sure, since she had switched to New Hope, she had enjoyed church more than ever. But this was different, special. Even Rainey was eager to hear the last sermon in Pastor Billings' series on the end of time, and much of it was above the boy's head. "Let's both plan on taking notes," Irene told him. "Then we can talk about it later." "We can tell Dad about it," Rainey said. She hesitated, nodding slowly. "We'll need to be cautious about that. Judicious. You know what that means?" "I think so. Careful?" "Using good judgment, sound thinking, choosing our timing carefully. Something is going on in your dad's life, Rainey. I don't know what it is, but he's not himself." "Why?" "I don't know. His drifting from church is just a symptom. Sometimes, when adults get to be your dads and my age, they take stock of their lives and aren't happy." "But Dad's successful. He's done everything he ever wanted to do. Didn't he always want to be an airline captain?" "Yes, but that's the problem. Sometimes you point your whole life at a goal you think will make you happy, and then when you reach it, it doesn't satisfy you. That's quite a lesson, isn't it? You see how you want to set goals that really satisfy?" Rainey fell silent, clearly thinking. Irene was impressed that he would admit when he didn't understand something, and he was never quick to respond until he did. "You mean, like, if I dreamed of becoming a professional basketball player and making millions of dollars and being famous, I might not like it once I made it?" "You know what the Bible says about living for ourselves and being rich." "Yeah, something about setting your sights on eternal stuff." "Fame and fortune aren't going to mean a thing in heaven, are they?" "I guess not." "You know, Mom, I've been starting to worry more about Dad than ever." "Worry how?" "You know, like when he's flying. I never used to worry because he always told me how safe airplanes are. He said that every time I hear or read about a plane crash, I should remember how many hundreds of thousands of flights were made without anything going wrong. Before, I never worried about it at all. But now, not knowing if he'd go to heaven if he died, I keep hoping and praying he doesn't crash." "I worry too." "You do?" "Of course." "Wouldn't it be cool if we didn't have to die to go to heaven, like what Pastor Billings has been talking about? Do you think Jesus could come back before I get old?" "You never know. We're supposed to live as if it could be today. Nothing more has to happen before he returns." "Then why doesn't he come?" "Who can know the mind of God? But he loves the world so much, maybe he's just waiting for one more person to turn to him." "Maybe he's waiting for Dad." "Maybe he is." Leon stood on the veranda of Carpathia's estate, watching his boss meander across the property, his face toward the sky. Suddenly, he stopped and raised his arms. Then, he dropped to his knees. The head of Nikolai's security team glanced at Leon and began to advance toward his client. Fortunato waved him off and made a gesture with his cell phone. The security man called Leon. "Let him be. If he needs you, he'll let you know." "But what if I hang back and then find out I should?" "I'll take a full responsibility." "No disrespect, sir, but I don't answer to you. I need to cover—" "I said I would take a full responsibility. If necessary, you may tell Dr. Carpathia that I forbade you to approach him." "Very good, sir. Thank you." Nikolai, trim, fit, working out daily, had felt a sudden rush of fatigue. He was trying to communicate with his spirit guide when he was driven to his knees. "Worship me," came the voice he would never forget from his first encounter with the being. "And I will communicate solely with you." "I am your servant," Nikolai said, his voice weak and shaky. "All will go well with you, if you can discipline yourself to never forget that subject." "You have my word." "Your path is being cleared." "My path? My path to where?" "Your path to the fulfillment of my promise." "The world and its kingdoms?" No response. Nikolai was tempted to repeat his question, but he knew from experience that the spirit had no patience and no interest in repeating the obvious. "I am ready," he said. "Do not run ahead of me." "Have I?" "Do not." "If I have, it is only because if you had, I would have told you. Events currently set in motion will result in your initial ascension. Be prepared, but do not be premature." "How more should I prepare?" "Spirit, how?" "Spirit, do not depart from me. I wish only to do your bidding and accept what you have promised." "Spirit, Spirit!" Leon took an aircraft-to-ground call from Jonathan Stonegal. "I will be in Bucharest within 2 hours. You tell Carpathia that... Excuse me, Jonathan, but please, do not forget that we are employees of a Dr. Carpathia. You may feel free to tell him things, but I do not. I do his bidding." "We work for Carpathia, Leon. We. Perhaps you are his lackey, but I most certainly am not. Now, you be sure to tell him that Georg Vasily has gotten the message and wants a truce. He needs more time. Let me make myself perfectly clear as to where my loyalties lie, Jonathan. I am not your errand boy, nor your mouthpiece. I repeat, I do not tell Nikolai anything. If you have a message for him, come and tell him in person, or call him yourself. Listen, Fortunato, you're going to find out who has the power here, and you're not going to like what you find. Do you think when Carpathia crashes and burns, I'll be even half interested in your services? Then I'm gambling my professional life on a different horse, sir. You sure are. Now, I want a meeting with Carpathia at the airport when I arrive, and you had better call off your dogs in the meantime." "My dogs?" "The people you have terrorizing Georg and his people." "Did you want me to request an audience for you with Dr. Carpathia?" "No. I want you and him at the airport when I arrive." "May I ask you a question, Mr. Stonegal?" "Stop being so formal. What?" "Is it fair to say that you are the instigator of this meeting?" "Of course. Why? What's your point?" "It would be true, then, that you wish to see Nikolai, not him you." Silence. "Are you there, Jonathan?" "Would you quit being obtuse and tell me what you're trying to say?" "I thought you'd never ask. It seems to me that if you are the one asking for the meeting, protocol requires you to come in Nikolai's direction, not him yours." "I've flown halfway around the world. Now you tell him to meet me." "Oh, no, you don't understand, sir. I won't be telling him anything. He doesn't want to talk to you. You want to talk to him. If you would like me to pass along your request to his assistant, I'd be happy to do that. She'll get back to you at a time that might be convenient for you to drop in on him here." "What? Are you serious? The first thing I'll have him do is to fire you. You may expect a call from Miss Viv Ivins then, Jonathan. Good day." "Listen, Fortunato." "I said good day." Buck Williams' intercom buzzed. "Yeah, Marge?" he said. Marge Potter was really his boss, Steve Plank's secretary. But due to a recent budget cut, she took some of his calls too. "Derek Burton for you from London. I just love his accent." "You know he's Welsh." "I knew it was something like that." Dirk had been a classmate of Buck's and working in the London Stock Exchange since graduation. "Lefty, my friend, how are you?" "Cameron, you really must come over here." The usual levity was gone from Dirk's voice. "What now? The Illuminati? The Bilderbergers? The Trilateral Commission? Who is meeting now to affect the heads of state all over the world?" Not even a snicker. "You finished, Cameron?" "Yeah, sorry, Dirk. What's up?" "You know, I was right about Jonathan Stonegal being one of the biggest movers and shakers in the secret world of international finance." "Gotta give you that one." "And the head of the London Exchange, you know who? Joshua Todd Cawthorne, right? Well, something's brewing." "Pray tell." "You don't sound serious, Cameron." I am, Dirk, really. You know, I think you're nutty, but only a little. Tell me what you've got. That's just it. I don't know what I've got. All I know is that Stonegal is on the move, apparently on his way to Eastern Europe, and he's going to stop here to meet with Todd Cawthron on his way back. Not unusual for a couple of big money guys? Maybe, but when they get together, things happen. Okay, I'm listening. I can't say any more right now. There's not much to tell, but once I find out anything about their meeting, can I call and leave a message at the secure center? Sure. Dad, I got a thing at school this week, an evening program. Oh, sorry, bud. Do well, but I've got a London flight this week. I wish I could go. Me too, Rayford said, imagining how that would cramp his style should he ever follow through with any of his designs on Hattie Durham. Yeah, you'd love England. I'll be at the program, Irene said. See? There you go. She was staring at Rayford. What? I can't do anything about my schedule. She nodded toward Ramey and whispered, At least ask him. Ask him what? Rayford mouthed. About the program. Yeah. Ramey, what's your part in the program? I play a tree. Rayford guffawed. A tree? What do you have to do, bark? Very funny, Dad. I've got lines. I'm a talking tree. Well, I really wish I could be there.